Hi guys, welcome to the Thought channel. Today I will be discussing 20 useful money habits that will help you to achieve financial success. It doesn't matter where you are in your life with the relationship with money. Maybe you are trying to save more, maybe you're starting to invest, or maybe you are putting some money aside to buy your first home, or trying to get a loan to start a business. Whatever your financial goal is, all the tips that I will be discussing today will definitely change your life if you apply them, at least some of them, in your life. So let's dive in. First of all, the first rule number one is setting financial goals. So it is kind of common sense, and old people talk about this a lot. Set financial goals. We all want to have some financial results at the end of the month, year, or decade, but few of us actually set financial goals. Goals mean you have measurable action list and you know how you achieve your goals. It is not your hopes, it's not what we dream about to achieve at the end of the month or year or decade. It is a clear written action plan that takes us from point A, where we are at financially right now, to point B, where we want to be in future financially. And goals should be measurable. Do not forget that. It is not, okay, I want to save $1,000 at the end of the month. Is it doable? Does it fit your budget? Does it fit your salary, monthly salary? So you should be able to measure your financial goals in order to achieve your financial objectives. Like, it could be very different, but you need to have financial goals set. Rule number second, create a budget. It sounds like common sense that, okay, I have my own budget, or I create a budget. Many of us think that way, but at the end of the month, we see that we spend more than we earned, or we spend more than we wish we would spend. So budgeting means is creating small balance sheet for us. So in one, it should have two sides. Balance sheets, they have assets and liabilities, and third part, but in budgeting, it's simple. Our income, or whatever money comes in, and our expenses, money in, money out. So budgeting should be clear snapshot of our financial situation during some period of time. For example, if you want to set budget for a month, which I highly recommend, you should have all your income sources on one side and all your expenses. And expenses should cover everything. Should cover your mortgage, car payment, insurances, kids insurances, family expenses, food, entertainment, car, or if you have old car, like car repair, stuff like this. Everything that actually you plan will go out of your wallet. But this is just a snapshot. The more tips will follow on this. So budgeting is number two. We need to create a budget in order to track our finances. Rule or habit number three is saving money. Probably you heard that a lot of people, specifically motivational videos, they're talking about don't save money, invest your money, saving is dead, saving is gonna take you nowhere. And they have some truth in it. I'm not denying it. I'm not saying it's 100% wrong. Of course, there's some truth in it, and I'll elaborate that point. But all in all, what I mean save some money. What I mean by save some money, I mean at least have some amount of money at the end of the measurable period, could be month or year, on like that you can do something with it. It doesn't have to be sitting in your 0.1 interest rate saving account. It could be in CD, credit deposits, or it could be in short-term investments, or it could be in different places, or it could be in checking account, but there should be some money at the end of the period at your bank account that you can to do something with. Or it could be like you save and invest simultaneously. I'll come to this one investment part, but saving money here, I mean put some money aside. It could be 10% of your salary, it could be 20% of your salary. It is recommended by financial advisors. By the way, I have background in finance and economics, but I'm not a financial advisor. You should always seek for professional financial advisor advice on your finances or asset management. But you should always at least be on positive saldo with your money, which means you have some money to save, put aside. Number 4, it is kind of controversial that we all heard, but it is really important for some type of people. Number 4 is avoiding debt. For example, you heard that why sometimes debt is bad, debt is good, or some people talking about debt is good because they are using loans or debt as an asset, leveraging it, buying new assets. Some people say, okay, the debt is bad or loans are bad. I want to talk about good and bad side of the debt. What I mean by saying avoid debt, I mean for specific fraction of people. Some people, they cannot have a lot of money in their hands or bank accounts. Whenever they have money, they tend to spend money. Actually, some of my family members have this kind of relationship with money. So whenever they have some big amount of money in their bank account, they tend to spend more because they feel that they have money and they're entitled to spend it. But avoiding debt here would save a lot of money too. If you are that kind of person that you spend a lot and you cannot stop and you have some money in your bank account until you deplete it 100%. So because specifically avoid debt, if you use debt for consumption, there are 2 different destinations where debt can go. One is very, very essential expenses, like for example, some of our family members could be in hospital and may need some money. Usually hospitals bill you, but all in all, for surgeries, for some type of emergency services, here it's unavoidable. If you don't have any cash in our hands, that is unavoidable. And the second one is just we want to buy a bigger TV, or we want to buy the second coffee maker, we want to buy another juice maker, or another device that is like not the must to buy, but we just want it, we just like it, right? It's consumption. Or like you have iPhone 13 and 14 just came out, but 13 works like 100% fine, but you like 14th, even if you know there's 99% of the applications and everything functions are the same, but you still want it, even if you cannot afford it right now with your cash in your hand, but you just want it, you love it. That's consumption-based debt, right? You go in debt, you go and charge your credit card for $1,500 and purchase new iPhone 14, or could be like new Samsung or different phones, whatever new device that you like. This is debt that goes to consumption. That is the one I'm talking about to avoid. Avoid these kind of debt 100%. and it will never put any money in your pocket back, because it is only consuming money that you don't have right now. And basically what it means that you are consuming your future, money from your future. You don't have cash right now. You cannot buy iPhone 14. Even if you have 13 in your hand, you want 14, but you cannot afford it, right? You go charge your credit card $1,500, you buy a new one. But what it means, you will return this money back plus interest rate in future, and you are consuming your future, right? So that is the debt we should avoid at all cost. There's another debt, which is you can take money, but you invest that money. You buy some assets with that money, or maybe you are taking like $250,000 from bank, but you are buying real estate or paying down payment for real estate. You buy it, you rent that real estate, and you at least have some positive cash flow coming from that real estate, which may pay some fraction of that loan or all just monthly payments, which is totally fine. This is a different schema. This is a little bit deeper investment, but all in all, that is useful debt. In many videos that people, specifically prominent people in financial world, talk about, that debt is good. They mean these one: getting in debt, buying some assets with that debt, and also you don't pay taxes on debt. Even if you pay interest rate, there's no taxes on that, right? Those are the good side. Avoiding debt, what I mean, avoid consumption debt. Do not go in debt to buy consuming products. Rule number 5, avoid impulse purchases. What does it mean? Impulse purchases is you visit Best Buy with your friend, right? Your friend should buy a new laptop, and you just go to Best Buy with your friend. The only goal that you go there is buying a laptop for your friend, right? But you see a really good headphone, which is good. It's wireless. It looks fancy. It has some like really cool lights, some new features. But you have one headset home, but you still want it, and you buy it. You think that, okay, I love it, I'm gonna buy it. Or you go to supermarket, and specifically if you're hungry, you will want to buy many things that you don't need. So impulse purchases are mainly based on extra emotional purchases. We always buy based on emotions, but if specifically emotions, if they are really strong, like if we are hungry, if we are going to grocery, we tend to buy more stuff than we used to. Or if we are not prepared and we are just like device lover, right? Gadget geek. We go to like technology stores like Best Buy or different ones, and we see new stuff coming in, and they're always coming in, right? And we buy those. This is unplanned impulsive purchases. So that's gonna destroy your budget. That's gonna destroy your bank account. And it's better to make a plan, because you made already a budget. Remember, that was habit number 2. So you make a plan, you make a list, grocery list, you make it stuff that you're gonna buy from technology store, or whatever new game list, whatever you wanna buy, you make a list. Wait a little bit, and also ask question if it's needed, or you just like to buy it. I want to buy it because I like it, or it's a must that I have to buy it. So that's a difference. So if it's a must, it should go to your list. If it's, it's a necessity, or if it's just, okay, I like this stuff kind of thing, then it's not going to your list. And when you make your list, wait at least one day, because in one day your emotions may fade away a little bit, and then you go purchase it. Never go to grocery stores when you're hungry, or never go to technology store that you think that the new stuff came out and you wanted to go and see them. You may buy them. Just wait a little bit, cool down, and then go for shopping with your lists, right? So habit number 6 is using cashback rewards. It sounds obvious, right? A lot of people think, okay, I'm using credit cards, I have cashback rewards, but there are many ways to use cashbacks. Number 1 is a credit card cashback rewards. All credit cards, they will give you from 1 to 3% cashback on regular purchases. Could be restaurants, entertainment, gas purchases, whatever is that. Plus, some may have a prolonged period of time, like 5% for Amazon purchases, something like this. There's always some rewards, and try to take advantage of that. Like if they are giving 5% for gas purchases for one type of credit card, try to use for gas that credit card monthly, because you can accrue 5%. It may not be a lot, but at the end of the day it accumulates. Also, there are other softwares like Rakuten. It's R-A-K-E. No, it's R-A-K-U-T-E-N. Rakuten. You download it, open an account there in Rakuten, and you put some plugin, Chrome plugin, which automatically pops up in your computer. Specifically if you are online shopper, and it will give you huge discounts on stores like Walmart, Adidas, Macy, Shane, many other department stores or clothing. So it is on top of the credit card savings that you will get, like 1-2% from credit card, plus from 2 to 10% from Rakuten. And there are many other different softwares that you can look for and install, because if you're spending $1,000 monthly on online shopping, then it is a must for you, because you will definitely save at least $50 from Rakuten, plus 1-2% from your credit cards, which adds up. Like it's gonna make like $70 at the end of the month, which could be your insurance payment or whatever is that, or gas payment. So definitely try to take an advantage of it. Rule number 7, negotiate bills. So now some people may think that, okay, how I am negotiating the bill if it's a bill and it's written there? Everything is negotiable. Remember, number 1. And number 2, even if you think that it is the situation that you cannot escape, there is no way that you are not paying these, that there is always, could be, or there's always, or there could be ways. So it never hurts to ask. Remember, it never hurts to ask, to have a second look to your bills. Because let me give you an example. Recently, one of my friend and with his family, they went to hospital and they had a baby there. And my friend's spouse was covered by my friend's insurance, and he had 20% co-payment from his healthcare insurance. Hospital, they stayed 2 days in hospital. That was the birth of beautiful baby, and the insurance paid a lot of money to hospital. Okay, after a couple of months, he received the bill. Bill was around $9,000, $10,000, around $9,000 some tail, which makes it $10,000. And he just came to me saying that, okay, I called hospital. I have only 2 options. One is I'm paying the debt, I'm paying this bill, and after 3 months, that I believe they gave him 3-month period to close the account balance, or they will send me to collections, which will definitely hurt his credit score, and he's planning to buy a new house, so he cannot afford any healthcare bills pop up on his credit score and decrease his score. And he was very upset because he didn't have enough money to pay that amount of money to hospital. And I'm very lucky that he came to me to talk about it. And what I told him, I didn't know that that's possible, but just that was kind of advice top of my head. I said, okay, everything is negotiable. Let's do this. Let's call hospital. Since the bill was on his wife's name. So since bill is on your wife's name and your wife does not work, she is covered by your insurance. So let's negotiate on her name. And we called the hospital and we told them that, okay, the patient was his spouse. She doesn't work. She's covered by his insurance, and he's in not in good financial situation that can cover her payments bill. So they said, okay, collect all your documents like marriage certificate, pay stubs, insurance certificates, whatever documentation you have, plus bills, and come to the office. And I told him not to take his pay stubs with him because he's earning a decent amount of money, which may not be qualified for bill reduction. But I asked him not to take his payments and only go with old pay stubs for his wife when she used to work to hospital in order to have a second look to the bill. And because insurance paid more than $30,000 to hospital, and hospitals get their fair share. So paying another $10,000, specifically, he's not good financial situation, and so we tried to save some money to him. So he went to hospital, presented documents, told them that he's gonna file taxes separately this year, not including his wife as kind of filing married jointly. So he's gonna do married separately. So he's gonna separate his bills from wife, which makes sense, and which I told him to tell the hospital billing department. And they looked at the bills and looked at her old pay stub. She was not earning a lot of money. She doesn't work right now, and she was covered by someone else, husband's insurance. And husband claims that he's gonna file taxes married separately in the coming year. Hospital said, okay, we're going to look at your bill. It was not $10,000 bill. And they looked at the bill, and I believe they gave him 95% discount on that bill, which made $500 bill. So if at the end of the day, his $10,000 bill switched to be $500 bill. And he was like a lot happy. Because $500, you pay that $500, your close account is zero, and there's no balance, and you are not burdened with your, being sent to collections or having some huge point drop in your credit score. So all in all, this wraps up the habit 7: negotiate your bills. There's always some way. Even if there is no way, just ask. So habit number 8: use coupons. It is kind of straightforward. It's specifically a lot of online stores. Like I was purchasing something, I believe one of the brand websites, and I saw some coupon there that if you wanna use free shipping, use this free 10 coupon. And I just didn't click on it, and then went to the next stage in order to place order, and I see that the shipment is actually not free, and I'm like, okay, that was free there. I read somewhere that it was free, and shipping costs were around $10. And then I went back, I clicked back and went to the page, clicked that coupon, applied it to the coupon section. Now I have free. And then there was another clothing, specifically in clothing sections. I was buying some summer suit, so it says 25% extra with coupon 25, right? Something like this. And I forgot to put that, and at the end I'm looking at the price and I'm saying, okay, it's not like deducted 25%, which was in my mind. I thought this automatically. Then I went back, applied 25 again, and actually I had another like $14 saving from that one clothing. So all in all, if I forgot to kind of apply those 2 coupons, it happened literally yesterday. 2 coupons, I would lose $25 just instantly, and I would have to pay that, right, more. So use coupons wherever you can find them. You can find those in magazines, newspapers, on some websites that they are actually doing and giving you some incentives to shop. And habit number 9, track your expenses. These actually goes hand in hand with budgeting. So the big difference is between budgeting and tracking expenses. They could be 100% similar, but there are differences. Differences, budgeting is kind of snapshot of your income and expenses. Tracking expenses is creating some spreadsheet. Budgeting is also should be on spreadsheet, but on that spreadsheet you just dynamically put your whatever you spend. Like if you spend $20 or like for example $80 for oil change today, but you did not plan it because it's not monthly, right? It's just once in 4 or 5 months. So you just remember that you have to change oil and you did it, but it's not in your monthly budget. So you keep track of that expense. You enter in that spreadsheet in order at the end of the month to see that, okay, you had this expense, and it would definitely save you money. And with these way you can track your expenses by doing different, like Google spreadsheets or Excel, whatever tools you want to use, but definitely use them. So now we are halfway through, and habit number 10 is investing in yourself. That's big, and I will elaborate on this a little more. Investing in yourself means trying to gain some high paying skills. Like, it is not easy for many people. I do understand it. Some people, they do not like to learn. Some people, they do not have time. They don't have time because they have big family. They need to take care of other people, or some, like, some people have to care of, that I know of, their parents. They are busy all day long. I totally understand it, and it's life. It's nothing is perfect. Every time here and there we will have some situation that will be difficult for us to invest in ourselves, but it is actually really important. For example, if we are working in their house, but it is not the job that we wish or to be in after 10 years, so having at least 30 minutes every night learning some new programming skills, or at least trying to learn some new programming skills, would be very beneficial in the long run. It may not change your life in 1 month or maybe even 6 months, but I am sure if you will be consistent, learning at least something every day, at the end of a year or maybe 2, you will definitely be there where you want. If you want to have career change, it is possible. Even if you are in your 40s, even if you're 50s, doesn't matter. It is still possible. It is not recommended, of course, like if you are like the more age you have, it's difficult to go back and change something, because you have more experience on the stuff that you've been doing all the years. But specifically if you are in a little bit, in your 20s or 30s, it should be easy for you. You shouldn't even think, should I do it or not? If you feel unhappy where you are, career-wise or money-wise, financial situation-wise, you should definitely consider investing in yourself, learning new skills. New skills could be not in like just in technology. It could be new skills like, for example, how to install solar panels, right? If you Google one of the most demanded jobs, and I'm actually looking at how to do this stuff, like not from, not because I want to be in that industry, but it's really interesting as a skill how to install it. Maybe in my, I'll buy solar panels for my future house. So all in all, these investing in yourself will make you happier, will make you financially better situation, and it will help on income side of the budgeting, right? You'll increase your income. So it will be satisfying in the long term. So here, in order to invest in yourself, consistency should be number one thing that you should follow. You should be consistent in learning and investing in yourself. It's not just, okay, being hype today, okay, I'm investing myself, I'm learning some coding, like I'm gonna learn Python or Java, whatever new software came out, and after 3 days you feel that it's not that easy, and that dream or desire fades away. It's not like this. You should be consistent and start small. If you start small, investing in yourself, not like 5 hours studying a day one day, no, study 10 minutes a day, just intro. Next day 15 until you reach 30 minutes, which is very reasonable time amount. So if you don't have 30 minutes a day, that is difficult. Try it at least 15 minutes, right? At least 15 minutes to read something, learn one concept, small concept. If you don't have 15 minutes, it means you don't have a life, right? But so you should have 15 minutes, at least 15 minutes during the day to be able to invest in yourself. So that's a must. Please do so, and it will be first mentally satisfactory for you, and second financially, and you'll be happier because you'll be doing stuff that you love moving forward. Rule number 11: invest in a retirement plan, specifically if you are an employee, not a business owner. So it is kind of everywhere. Everyone talks about save, but it is important to start saving when you are young. There is a huge difference between starting saving at 30 and starting saving at 20. If you start saving at 20, you will have substantially more amount of money when you retire, or at least, pull that money, withdraw that money from your retirement account. It's huge difference, specifically in your 20s and 30s. So start investing early. I understand in 20s we try to, we love to go out, partying, spending money, which is totally fine. What I'm saying is try at least to invest something. If you can invest more, that will be huge, absolutely huge when you withdraw that money from your retirement account. But if you don't have one, please definitely have one, because it is not tax. It's kind of you're saving on taxes, and that it adds up. And I believe if you withdraw early, there's some tax penalties. But if you withdraw that amount of money in your retirement age, it's adding up a lot, and you save a lot money. And it's actually being invested in pension funds, mutual funds, and different plans depending on what you choose, on bonds or stocks. So definitely have a retirement account. It could be a regular IRA or Roth IRA, whatever your employer gives you. Just definitely try to use it. It could be 401k, it could be, I believe, 403a in healthcare, or whatever you have, just save it. So in habit 12 is invest your money and diversify your investment. The two comes together, so I combined two and made one. So why investment is big? We talked about investment in retirement, but I'm talking about not investing in retirement, but aggressively investing in some different assets. Like investing can make us rich way shorter period of time than anything else. business or investment, either or. So try to understand foundations of what is investment. If you do not understand investment at all, it's very important that you take some investment courses, not courses, just at least something for education purpose, in order you understand what is investment and how it works. There is always risk associated with investment, but it could be, less risk side of investment. So for example, I'm not saying go and invest all your money in some trash coins, no, but you can go and buy stocks of big companies, which you know that definitely will be there after 10 years, and the companies that you believe. So buying stock of a company is investment to that company. Actually, you are buying some share of that business. It is kind of like, having some portion of that business. So it is important. So you do your due diligence, whatever you want to invest. It could be the millions of options in modern world. It could be commodities, it could be crypto, it could be stocks, bonds, many options. But you should be able to understand what you are doing. If some people say, okay, go buy this coin, and you just emotionally buy this coin, sit back and wait it until it's gonna surge, it's not gonna work that way, probably. But if you search the company and you read some topics about the particular company that you like, and you see that there is what analysts say about it, there's always some sections that analysts recommend it, buy, sell, or hold on it. So you understand and you judge from your own perspective. If you have financial advisor, you talk to financial advisor, and it may be big. And I remember that when COVID hit in 2020, I was purchasing a lot of stocks because stocks plummeted. That was in March, I believe, mid-March of 2020, and stocks plummeted. And I checked the stocks, like they are down 30-40% in a week. Maybe in a month they were like 50%, 60% down. I was thinking, okay, nothing happened to the companies, right? Companies or their employees are there, they're still working, they're making some products, they're delivering that product and services to their customers. But it is something artificial hit in, right? I mean COVID. So because of that, everything shut down, and because of these uncertainties, stocks went down. It was emotional crash, and it was not like full financial crisis, but it was emotional crash because people didn't know what's going to happen next. And I went to my manager's office and I said, okay, I purchased today I invested $10,000 one of the big tech companies. I'm not going to tell the name of it, and she said, really? I said, yeah, because stocks are down 40%, and I do not believe the company did something financially wrong to have its stock like 40% down. So she called to her, she was skeptic because I'm working for her, right? And but I really purchased it, and I even added a lot more to other stocks. I purchased like maybe $30,000-$40,000 worth of stocks, specifically tech companies. And next day she called me saying, okay, I talked to my financial advisor, and my financial advisor said that if you have some cash extra, definitely buy, because it's a good time to buy. And she bought. And after a year and a half, she quadrupled her money. And because she sold stocks, she did not hold them like I like to hold stocks, buy and hold for a long term, but she just sold them at the peak, and she quadrupled her money. So she was very grateful. So diversifying investment means never put all your eggs in one basket. I'm a big fan of the tech stocks, but sometimes it has own risks. Sometimes you see that the whole industry goes down. Specifically big tech companies, cloud companies. I believe in the future of tech, that's why I invest in tech. I'm not there's no way that I'm recommending you financially to buy some stocks, but what I'm talking about my own preferences. You should definitely talk to your financial advisor or make your own decisions, because it's only information purpose channel. But yeah, I mean, I diversify, but not that much. And when tech industry goes down, all my portfolio goes down, at least like 50% of it. But if you don't like, because I can consume that risk, I know that, and risk and reward comes in hand in finances. You should know that. And all investments, they are risky. You can lose like some portion of all your money. So you should definitely be familiar with investment fundamentals. But definitely, if you are specifically trying to avoid risk, diversify your portfolio. You can invest in telecommunication, you can invest in healthcare industry, you can invest in tech, you can invest in commodities or everyday consumer products, or food industry like PepsiCo, Coca-Cola, McDonald's, whatever is that. Like, I don't want to name the companies, all of those, but I mean, or consumer goods stocks. Whatever you want to do, you want to diversify your portfolio. If you're investing in crypto, if you're buying some altcoins or trash coins, whatever is that, with the expectation that they may go higher and higher, you should not put all your money in one side. You should always diversify in order to avoid some risk. So learn investing, and learn how to diversify your portfolio. So put in different industries. If whole economy goes in crisis, there is nothing you can do. You just sit and wait, try to maintain your basic life, and it's gonna come back, because it's a money and credit cycle, and crisis hits every 8, 10, 15 years. But if it's some industry goes down, you at least, some portion of your portfolio is down, but at least the main portion is there and it's not going down. So habit number 13. 12 was diversifying your investment. 13 is automate your savings. So we already talked about saving money. This one is automating it. Automating it means like you're setting some automation on your bank account, which automatically deducts money from your account. It's basically, what it means is paying yourself first. So money came into your account, pay yourself first, take that money from your account, put in your savings account, and then whatever you have there, that goes to budgeting. So you take your savings, the rest is going to maintain your budget, your living expenses. So habit number 14 is reviewing your credit report. So I see a lot of people that they're not keeping track of their credit score, and whenever they need to do big purchases, specifically buying cars or houses, some real estate, that they even buying a phone, they are being told that their credit score is not high, or they have, whatever it could be, keep track of your credit reports, credit score. So how it's possible, there's some apps, like I use personal, I believe Credit Karma, or there's many others. This is not advertisement, but what I'm saying is there are many other options, apps that will give you your credit score. I believe there are 3 main credit scores. Credit score companies. One is being Experian, another one TransUnion, and there is the third one. So you should know what is in your credit card. Specifically, you should know how credit score is built. It's usually it could be 35% on how on timely fashion you pay your debt back. Then it could be your limit. You should always try to be at least below 10% of your credit limit. If you have like $20,000 credit limit, 10% of it is $2,000. So you should spend less than 10% in order to be in good shape. There are other part of credit score that if you go for car payment and they calculate your rate, right? They may do hard inquiries in your credit score, which will, decrease your credit score temporarily. So always ask whenever you date someone saying that, okay, let's calculate your interest rate and whatever loan you want to take. Ask them it's a soft request or hard request. Hard request goes to your credit score, decrease it. And there's also age of your credit score. You cannot do anything about it, your first credit card and how long it's been in use, because when you build history, the companies know that how trustworthy you are. That's why they build their credit score based on that. But the main, there's some portions, not all these conditions are the same. Like again, 35%, I believe you should double check, but it's going like that. How trustworthy you are, how you're paying your debt back, what limit you use, how many hard inquiry shows that how intensively you are seeking for loans, and also age of your history and all this stuff. They make your credit history. And also always check what is in your history. If you see some hard inquiries and you're not involved in that hard inquiries, you should definitely put claims and contact the credit companies, or at least find third parties assistance in order to solve these issues. Always keep track of your credit scores, because they will be needed in some part of your life, specifically when you do big purchases or trying to get a loan for your business or whatever you want, right? So habit number 15, it's creating an emergency fund. Actually, what I call emergency fund is having some liquid, 100% liquid means in your hand, which is cash. 100% liquid means are cash, financial, right? They're 100% liquid. So actually, liquidity is how assets, they can be turned to cash. So I always have at least 5 to 10K in my bank account, or at least some account that I can deduct within 3 days. So always try to have some habit that you have an access to some cash. It could be your savings account, even if it's online, or it could be a bank, but you should have an access to your accounts. For example, if you have $10,000, it doesn't make sense to put all of them in CDs, credit deposits, because you cannot take them within a year. So you can invest like maybe 9 to CDs, which guarantees some interest rate at the end of the year, and have some of those in savings account, the rest in savings account, which is I believe you can deduct, like it's withdraw 6 times from savings accounts within a month. So all in all, you should double check these numbers. What I am saying is you should always have an access to cash, specifically your money, if it's your money, and within 3 days. This is emergency fund. It could be many emergency situations in life, so this is really important. Habit number 16 is shopping around everything, specifically insurances. So I witnessed that when I shopped with my car insurance. They just increased like my rate out of blue, like $150 a month. And I was shocked, and I called them. Oh no, this is a rule, this is inflation, we cannot do. Even if I don't have any accidents in my history, it's clean, and there's nothing, it's clean. They increased it, and I just start calling different companies. Even if I was using that insurance company for years, logically it should go down because they're building my history, and my history is clean. But it wasn't the case. They increased it, and I started shopping. And I shopped, and I found another insurance company which gave me $170 less monthly rate than my current insurance. And so of course I switched. And what I am saying is, I saw some advertisements about this, like people using different softwares to find insurances. It could be car insurance, it could be property insurance, it could be many other, it could be health insurance. So try to shop around with that insurances. Okay, there's always a way. There could be ways. So habit number 17 is using cash instead of credit card. Okay, here the point is tricky. Why I'm saying use cash instead of credit cards, and I will explain this. But for some people, using cash instead of credit cards has many advantages, but for some other people like me, using credit cards have way more advantage than using my cash, and I will explain why. The two types of people: one is 100% responsible for their finances. Another fraction of people, they are not responsible, they don't care, or they're not that educated with money. So specifically, if you're spending a lot of money and you're having some difficulty to keeping track of your budgeting finances, you should avoid using credit cards, because credit cards could be amazing, and I'll tell you why, but they could be financially destroying too. Specifically, if you're not responsible for your expenses and you are avid shopper or shopaholic, and you are not keeping track of your finances. Imagine if you get your new credit card and they give you 0 APR, and you know that you're not going to pay a lot of money at the end of the month, so you go and spend all that money, like tell 5,000 limit, and then after 1 year, when these free APR limit ends, they start charging you interest rate, and credit card interest rates, they are very, very high. I saw rates up to 25%, and the lowest that I've ever seen was 16%. So that's a huge amount of interest rate. It's huge. So specifically, if your limit was higher and you just you spend all this money, and then when they start charging you the interest rate monthly, it's gonna be very hard for you to pay that credit card down. So if you're not that responsible person, use your cash instead of credit cards, or put your credit cards home. Do not take them with you in order to have a limit of spending. But on the other side, credit cards could be very useful tool if you are 100% keeping tracking of your finances. Like for example, I do. What I do, I always spend free money. What I mean free money is, imagine I apply for credit card, I get a new credit card with $10,000 limit, and with 12 month or 15 month 0 interest rate. And it's actually what does it mean is the credit card company giving you a $10,000 limit. Within 20 months, you can spend it, and you will not pay any interest rate within that time period, 0 APR time period. They will only have minimum payment like 25, 50, whatever is that, and you'll pay that. There is no additional charge, interest rate charge. So, but I'm keeping my track of my finances. I know that how much I can spend. Specifically, these credit cards, they're giving bonuses too, and I'll talk about this another section. And so yeah, I mean, I'm spending that money. I know that like monthly, I'm spending like $5,000, and I'm spending that $5,000 from credit card, and I'm using my cash to invest in at least to some saving account, which pays like nowadays like 3% because Fed increased high interest rates, and I'm getting 3% on my $5,000, which is like, I don't know, like it is $150. Is that true? No, it's yearly. It's less. It's like 20 something. But at the end of the day, it's some money, right? And I'm putting that money to savings account and spending from credit card. When my credit card ends or hits the limit, like the time limit of 0 APR period, I take that money with the interest rate and zero down my credit card, clean the balance, and now I'm down with the money plus interest rate with my cash, right? So my cash worked for me, and I used the free money, but I am a responsible person. I know that at the end of the day, I'm going to pay my credit cards, so I paid a closed balance of my credit card, and I'm down with some extra cash, which comes from interest rates. So another useful tip could be like habit 17 is decreasing your energy consumption. Like If you're using one room, like take the lights off in other rooms. It's the basic stuff like saving some consumption in order to have lower utilities. If you're not home, do not put heating on. Stuff like this. And this is pretty self-obvious, but it's a very useful habit to have in order to get, lower your expenses, specifically utilities. Habit number 18 is creating side hustles. Creating side hustles cannot be easy, but it is still possible nowadays. And today I would say it is the easiest of all times. Again, I'm not saying that making passive income or creating second stream of income is easy. I'm not saying that at all. It is not easy, and there's there are a bunch of scams out there, all these people that telling you that okay, make these, you'll be. I'm not talking about being get rich quick scheme like this. No, what I'm saying is you may try to get some different incomes. It could be opening new Uber account, for example. If you have some spare time and you have your own car, you can get in Uber and do some over 1 or 2 hours more and get some extra cash. Or it could be different apps, like for example walking other people's pets. There's a lot of apps. I don't want to advertise any, but you can download and you just literally in your free time go and sit with someone's pet for 2 hours and get like $50 or $25 per hour out of these 2 hours, right? That's still a source of income. Or it could be different ways. Could be even affiliate marketing. If you're passionate about some stuff, then you have your own Facebook page or group, or people that really interested in what you're doing. You can have some affiliate links there and recommend people the products that you really know and you really are familiar, and be honest with them. Tell them what purchase or not, and get some portion of that sales. It's still possible. There are many ways nowadays to create different ways of income. Again, it's not going to be easy. It is not easy, but it is doable, and you should be working on this definitely when you are young. It doesn't matter even if you're in your 40s, 50s, but you'll have more energy and less experience. I'm talking about the experience, that the failures in your life, in order to start a new hustle, right? The older we get, we have more experiences and more failures. Some people get discouraged from that failures, even if you should be encouraged and use that failures as a lesson. So all in all, it's kind of called learned helplessness, but try to come up with some ideas that may create for you second, third income channel of income. It is imperative for your financial health, specifically nowadays using internet. It is possible. It is definitely possible. Or if you are, for example, traveler, right? You have enough money and you're traveling the world. Why not to buy a drone and using your iPhone, taking beautiful videos and pictures of places that you are going and posting them and showing people that are really, they're dreaming to be in the places where you are going, right? Showing them, and it will pay off. And also recommending them or creating some blogs and talking about the topics that you're passionate about. So many things are possible nowadays. So you should definitely think about this one. And another habit is practicing mindful spending. I put that at the end, but I will give you another habit rule for financial success. But practicing mindful spending is basically goes hand in hand with do not making impulsive purchases. Being mindful is, I have, for example, one rule. I always ask myself, for the stuff that I'm buying, do I need that? Is it a necessity, or I want to buy a new laptop because I just like it, or I need laptop because my old laptop is really not performing well, and I'm spending a lot of time to open it, close it, or performing some tasks. That's my question, number one. Do I need new gadget? I have like iPhone, do I need the new release? Yes. Why I need it? Because my old one is the one that I am having in my hand. It's not working well. Or I do not need it because the new release device almost is 99% the same that I have. It's no. So always asking yourself if it's necessary or not. Also, being not attached to things. Like, some people, when specifically it's hard times, some people may think that physical things may bring them some temporary happiness. I saw some people, that's why I'm talking about this one, trying to buy new things to feel happier. It's not gonna fill the emptiness or some problems. So it's definitely recommended to go deeper on that emotionally and mindfully, to understand that these kind of behaviors gonna hurt your budget. Also, it's not gonna bring you happiness. So you should be 100% mindful with your purchases and know where your money goes in and what you're getting out of your money. If you are not getting 100% what you need from your money, then you're just wasting it. And nowadays we work for money. It doesn't matter if you have your own business or you're an employee. It's that end goal is always getting some money, and it's our time. So we should be 100% mindful with our money and spending habits, specifically why we are buying, our shopping behavior, what we have problematic. Like, if it could be some patterns coming from our childhood, like buying new dolls. Like, I saw people, specifically young ones, buying unnecessary toys for their kids. Like, kid has one, even doesn't play with that toy, but they're buying more and more and more. And when I asked that people, why you're doing this, because kids not playing with that toy and that type of toy. And she said, okay, I always dream about this doll, and it comes from past. You should be mindful with the purchases. Is it your choice? Is it or what kid needs in order to develop his mind or mental development? So all in all, you should be mindful. And regarding the credit cards, and it's going to be the very last one because I already gave you 20 tips. It's going to be like +1 bonus. And there are many credit cards nowadays, so you can definitely open one per year with 0 APR interest for 12 or 15 months, and within 20 years you will have 20 credit cards, right? But in that period of time, as I mentioned before, you will have 0 APR, and it's kind of free money, but you gotta be responsible with that money. So and manage your own cash the way that it brings more money for you, because you're using credit cards, but at the end of the day you will be paying it back. So you should be very careful where you put your cash in order not to double spending credit cards and also your extra cash spending and depleting both resources. It's going to be very painful. I'm not talking about this. I'm talking about managing your cash wisely, putting in some accounts, getting extra interest, but using free money from credit cards for some period of time, of course, for 12, 15 months, and then paying full balance, cleaning your balance at the end of the 0 APR time period, and having some extra cash in your hands. Or if you can invest your cash and launch your business, right? Whatever you want to do with cash, what I recommend is at least putting in some accounts that gives you interest, or investing in assets that you'll be able to pay your interest rate after the zero APR period. So all in all, I want to conclude today's video. Being financial literate is really important nowadays, and it is sometimes more important than trying to make more money sometimes, because sometimes the problem is in spending habits rather than in incomes. I saw people, they're earning like top 2, even 1% rate in United States, and their salary or income is really, really high, but when you ask them something, this is financially impossible for me. How it can be financially impossible for you if you are in top 1% of earner, but when you look at the expenses, money management, it is horrible. It is horrible. I remember once I asked one doctor, I was having a trip to one of the exotic places, and I was discussing that with one of the doctors, and I told him, why you're not taking a trip? I know, because I know that doctor doesn't take a lot of vacations. And I asked him, why you're not going to vacation with your wife and family? It would be amazing for you because you're really working hard here all day long. And that person told me it is financially impossible for me, and then starts saying this is that, this is my expenses, kind of justifying his point. And I realized that it's not problem with the income, it is problem with the spending habit, or your attitude, your approach to money. So it is important to be literate in both sides, both in making money and also how you spend that money. All in all, that's for today. Stay in our Thought Rally channel, and thank you very much for being with us today. See you in our next videos.